Hello, hello, ladies. It is Thursday, I think. This is the first full week after New Year's and Christmas holidays, so it's just a jumble of I don't know what day it is, right? Well, today I just didn't know what to do for a project, so I got out my jelly plate, and I'm going to make some prints. And I'm going to use those prints to stock up on some greeting cards. My supply is getting a little low, and I needed something that wasn't Christmas or winter or sympathy or get well. I needed something fun and happy and exciting. So I got out my jelly plate. I'll show you what I have. I'll show you how I'm going to make some prints, and then I will show you a whole bunch of prints at the end. And I'll put together a few cards and I'll show you what I came up with. I just, like I said, wasn't sure about a project today. I'm kind of in between mode, so hopefully I'll think of something extra special for Saturday, and you'll enjoy this technique of jelly printing. A lot of people do it. I know I've been watching my share of videos too on it, but once in a while you just gotta, stop watching those videos and get to work. So here's what I have. I have this big one. This is an 8 by 10, and this one's by Jelly Arts. As you can see, I store mine right in the packages. I will link the jelly plates below. Um, this is what mine looks like. I don't think I'm going to use my big one today to make these panels for cards. I'm going to use a smaller one, but I just wanted to show you the different sizes and shapes. And there are lots and lots of techniques. There's lots and lots of videos. There's lots and lots of ways that you can do this. I'm just doing this so that we can make some cards, like I said. So here's my big one. And then I have this box, which I need to decorate, obviously, which would be a good idea. And this is a gel plate storage tin by Dilutions. So a Ranger company, and it's really nice. Mine came dented, but it didn't bother me. I have a gel press, which is a little bit different than the jelly plate, just different brand. And here's mine. This one is a 6 by 6, and I think that I'm going to use probably these smaller ones today. So I have a 6 by 6, and then this one is I have a 3-inch round, a 3-inch triangle, and a 3-inch square. And then this one here is a 3 by 5, and that's a really nice size too. So we're just going to get started, and you can see I haven't used my triangle or my square yet, but I did use my circle. And we'll just get started with the one that I really enjoy, and that's the 6 by 6 square. And if we need to grab another one out, we've got them. I've got a brayer. I've got some deli paper or parchment paper for cleaning off my brayer. And I grabbed a pile of stencils because we're going to use stencils. Here's some that I've had in my stash that I haven't used at all yet. They're just big flowers and different things, really springy type things, and that's kind of what I needed in my world right now. I've got my craft mats down. I'm going to just remove some of this stuff. And then I chose my new paints. And these paints are from Arteza. I got 20 craft colors, and these are premium vintage tones. And if you know Sean Petite, she had a video on using these, and it was right before Christmas, and I was like, oh, gotta have them. So I ordered them, and I just got them yesterday. And of course, I had to swatch them out. So going in this order is how we have them. We've got raspberry, crimson red, terracotta, mustard yellow, sunflower, olive green, shamrock, jade green, turquoise, dark teal, ultramarine, plum, wine, lavender, camel, yellow ochre, cocoa, a bronze, and a Van Dyke brown, and a titanium white. So we're going to play with these and our gel plates, and we're going to create um, some backgrounds and make some cards. So I hope that is okay with you. I'm going to use this kind of, and I've got some wet towels that we're going to need because this does make a little bit of a mess. And that's all right. Maybe that's just what I needed, is just to make a mess and be creative. Now, this is some paper that I took out of a art journal that I made, and I have that handy. It is a wedding book that I made, and I took out a lot of the papers when I did it because it was just way too full. So I can definitely link that for you in the description above here, and you can see how I went ahead and made this wedding journal. I should put this in a safe place. It's getting a little bent up, but I love how it turned out, and it was quite fun. So I'll go ahead and link that for you too. And then these are the papers that were left over from that. So that's what we're going to use, because I can cut those up and make them into card fronts, and we can use them in our mixed media projects. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun here. So I am just going to start. I've got my small brayer, and let's just go to town and make some. I'm just going to take a few pages. We'll start with, let's say, 5 pages at a time. How about that? And I'm just going to pick some colors that I absolutely love and I think that are going to go really cool together. And just looking here, I love these 3 colors and I love that green. So I'm going to pick out those 4 colors right away. The terracotta, the mustard yellow, the sunflower, and the olive green. We'll work with those, and then we will come back and create some others. Okay, sounds good. All right, so how I'm going to do it, I am just going to, you kind of got to get situated here. And I'm going to peel off my backing. And I kind of want that grunge. So I'm just going to, I save this plastic to store my jelly plate. And let's just start going to town here, you know. Um, jelly plate, jelly plate printing is lots and lots of fun. We'll just start out with the basics here, getting some paint down. Look at that luscious, beautiful paint. And then I have my sheets over here, and I'm going to be using those with my brayer just to get some of the paint off. And then we'll have some really cool tissue papers there too. So I'm going to start with stencils, and just see what we can do here. I haven't done jelly plate printing in quite a while, so we'll just work on it together, huh? So I'm just getting that impression on there, and I'm going to roll that off on my paper over to the side. As you can see, it gives a little texture. And we're just going to pick up this print. Any type of paper will work. Yeah, cool. And the more you get going, you just can't stop. You're just like, oh, 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 wow, wow, wow. And that's exactly how it happens. Now this is going to be what they call a ghost print, a second print off of that. Let's see what we can get. Nothing too much, and that's fine. You just got to get your plate working. And I might have put just a little too much paint on there. And like I said, you just kind of got to get it going on and get your rhythm. And I'm just going to put this little bit on the side here. So we're just going to keep building up our papers. Building, building, building. And then we'll cut them down for card fronts. And we'll decorate them. That's really cool. I'm just going to add a little bit of that bright yellow on here and see what else I can pick up off of that. So like I said, it does make kind of a mess. You have to have a big area to do these jelly plate printing. It's hard to say. And you just keep going and going and going. And I think that's kind of what I needed to do today. I just needed to create a mess and not really think about anything. Just go to town. Look at this cool stencil. Look at that neat one. That's really cool. I'm just going to put it down. And I'm going to see if I can pick up an image through that. Maybe I'll use my brayer. And it's okay if you get yellow on the back of your paper because it's just going to add another layer. See that? Sweetness. Pulling this off. I'm not going to waste that paint. No way am I going to waste that paint. I'm going to put it down. And I'm just going to use this and rub. And we'll see what we get here, huh? Nothing much, but a little bit. And this is going to be really cool. So, put a little on this. Neat. Put the rest on this side. Very cool. And I'm just going to keep going here. So I'm going to turn my mic off and I am just going to keep going for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. You can cruise right through. And then when I get started to do some texture plate things, we'll go ahead and start back and I'll put the audio back on, okay? Okay, I'm back and I will show you my prints and stuff after they're dry. I just wanted to switch my colors, so I turned my Gelli Plate over. So this is a semi-clean side. And the colors that I chose now, I chose the shamrock green, the lavender, the plum, and the turquoise. And I think those are going to look super cool. I just felt that those other colors were kind of fallish. So now we'll go with these and we'll try to make it a little more birthday-ish, birthday-like. I've got 5 pieces of paper again. And I've got a couple of pieces of my parchment paper to clean off my brayer, and I'm just going to use some of these different stencils. I'm going to put the ones aside that I had used the most and try and use a few different ones here. Okay, so let's just get started. I love this color of lavender, and I think with this blue is going to be really cool. So I'll just lay these down, and I've got my white always, and we will be adding, oh look at that, looks like bubblegum ice cream. Oh, that's cool. No. That's really cool. I just really want to put this flower one in there, and this is going to create a really cool print right away, I can tell. Look at that. Can you see that for a card? Now there is a lot of paint on here, so I'm going to be really careful with that one not to smudge it, smear it. I had just a little too much paint. See that? Cool, huh? Okay, so we're just going to pick this one up, and I'm going to try and be careful because I did have a lot of paint on there. So, yeah, you get the feel of it. I guess like 3 drops is enough. Now that is amazing. You can see a little bit of yellow with that. Ooh yeah, ooh yeah. I'm just going to put a little white on here and just kind of try and pick up another print of that flower. See what happens here. This is a real nice kit from Arteza. If you want to do Gelli Plate, I think that the texture of this paint is real nice. It's not quite heavy body, but it's a little nicer than just plain old craft paint. That's neat. And I see how it's picking up some of that color that was left on the print. That's fine with me. I think that's neat. I'm going to add a little green and purple maybe. And I don't really want to mix these too much together because I think that it'll turn kind of muddy. So I'm going to do the top part here green, the bottom part green. And the price point for these paints is real nice too. I think there was 20 colors. Yeah, I think 22 for, yep, 20 colors. And I believe it was 23 something. So very, very affordable. And then there was free shipping right before Christmas, which put me right over the edge. Look at those 2 colors. This one is going to be neat just on its own. So I'm not even going to use a stencil. Look at that. Oh, I love it. Love it. I'm going to put maybe a star stencil on here. Pick up that paint. And let's see what we can get from that one. Yeah, so that's something that I bought for myself. I thought that was really nice. Not too much, but I can see some of the stars. Can you? Yeah. I really liked those two colors together. I'm going to do that one again. Maybe try not to get so much paint. So, yeah, we will do the same thing like I did with the other colors. I will just turn off my audio, put on that music, and just create here some more prints. And I feel like I want to use this one. And then when we get done here, we will have a lot of cool stuff. And we'll go ahead and put some black on it. We'll put some texture on it. I didn't do that one very well now, did I? And I think that it will just be really, really fun to create some cards with it. And I'm not doing both sides of the paper right now because it seemed kind of like a waste. If we're going to make cards out of them, we can only use the one side. So I didn't want to continue with that thought process. I'm going to turn off my audio and I'm going to put on music and let you just follow along, okay? Okay, I have my purple and my green and my plum ones here to the side, and I'm feeling that they need just a little bit of yellow. And I just absolutely love these squares, this tile stencil. So that is what I'm choosing. And I am going to just add some yellow to these, and we'll see how that works out. I feel that this is a real fun project when you just don't know what to do or have a desire to do anything, and you know you should because you know you have all of these supplies. Um, you get to use a lot of your things in your stash because you're just like, oh, I should use that, I should use that, I should use that. And then you feel that that's a nice reward. And also you end up with all of these really great pieces of pattern paper that you made, and that's a great reward because there's no reason to buy all that pattern paper. I know it's pretty and everything, but really you can make your own, and it is quite rewarding. um, I feel. So here I'm just gonna not even use the stencil, I'm just gonna use the paint off. Okay, here's what we've got. So I've got everything drying. These are my ones from before. And when we get some black and some stamping on here, I think that these are going to turn out amazing. Those are my tissues, okay? So here's the blues that we just did, and I did add some yellow. I just felt that it needed a little bit more color there. So I grabbed out my tile stencil and I added just some yellow in there, not all over crazy, but we are going to set these aside to dry, and then I'm going to come back after supper and we're going to put some black down and we're going to make them amazing, black and white, and maybe some texture, and we'll see what happens. But we'll keep creating on these and we'll get them till we absolutely love them. Okay? Talk to you soon. Okay, I'm back, and we have a lot of stuff out here on my desk. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to get rid of these tissue papers. Now, they're going in my big basket of papers, and we'll use those in other projects. You know, look how yummy they look. We're going to get rid of those. So I did dig out a stamp set that I have, and it's got dragonflies on it. I can't tell you the company that I've got it from because I just don't know. I have had it in my stash for a long, long time, and I'm not 100% sure where it came from. Now, here's my thoughts. I didn't know if I wanted to do a whole page and cut it down, or if I wanted to cut it down and do individual. So we're going to do a few of each. So here's what I did. I cut this down. This is the size, and I made it into card fronts. And of course, these scraps I'm saving. I'm not going to throw those away. I have some white gesso and the black paint that, well, actually the black that came in the kit was a dark brown, so I may not even use that. I'm going to use black paint instead. I want it to be real nice and crisp black, so hopefully I won't dip into that. Then I have just a couple of stencils that I pulled out that I know I want to use. This one is the bubbles. This one is not sure, but I'll look it up. It's got really great texture. This one here is by Ball Balzer Designs, excuse me, the Crafter's Workshop, and it's got all kinds of words on it. I thought that would be really, really fun. And then I dug out a few things of texture. I've got big bubbles, little bubbles, this thing that came from the dollar store. I think it's to open like a jar or something, but I loved this texture on there. And then I got out a couple of these things to make circles on the projects also. So I'm just gonna kind of do a large one. I'm running out of room here. I've got so much stuff. I'm gonna do a large one here, and we will see what happens. Like I said, I may put this black paint up here on my palette or my jelly plate just so I have a bigger surface like that. And I'm going to use my big bubbles, and there aren't very many big bubbles left on there. They kind of got popped, so I just have to use the ones that still have air in them. And I'm just going to go to town here and put some dimension and different texture in the background here. I really like these big bubbles. And every page, of course, is going to look different. There's no way that we could get the pages to be the same. I'm going to try this stamp here, and I have this is like a stamp press. It's by Dilutions. I don't use it very often, but I'm using it today because it's here on my desk. I'm using my stamp mat, and I'm going to use black archival ink. Just gonna give that a good stamp. Okay. And I think that just, this says here, be your own kind of beautiful. I'm gonna think about that as being my sentiment on my card in that area, giving it a good press down. That worked just great. It's absolutely beautiful stamp. I'll have to look it up. And so that's going to be a card there. And then this one says Freedom Dragonfly. I'm going to cut that in two because that doesn't really make sense now, does it? But I'm going to use the dragonfly up to the top. Use the other stamp. And then, like I said, I'm going to do a bunch of these off camera, and then we'll come back and see what we have created. For the cards. just going to put it in this open spot here, giving it a good stick down. Can see it there. Just going to wipe my stamp off. I just got a damp towel there. Set it aside. I'm going to give this a quick dry. Archival ink dries really fast, but I want to put some white gesso on here just to make those colors pop a bit, and then set it aside and we'll do those card fronts, see what we can get to look like there. I'll cut this one into pieces so that we can make cards out of it, and then, like I said, I will go ahead and do the rest on my own. I got, oops, here I got just pieces of sponge and those stencils that I wanted to use. I just really like the dot one, so I'm going to use that. And just very random. Yep. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And when we cut it up, if we need anything else, of course, we can do that. I have some sticker books that we can use. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to do the 2 card fronts. Sorry about my phone going off there. I just got done eating and I forgot to turn it back off. So I like this stamp and I'm going to use it again. Just give it a good rub here, get all that ink on there. That is cool. I think it's really cool. I'm going to put the little bit of that black back down here. That black ink. I might as well just use that dark brown too. I don't want to waste it, right? And then what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to try this. I'm just going to put it in there. And of course I'm going to need a piece of paper. Ooh. Oh yeah. That's cool right there, huh? Cool. Okay, I'm going to get a little more paint there using my brayer. And I've got these they're just tape rolls, tape from tape rolls, empty tape dispensers. And maybe one just down in the corner. I really like it. I love the colors. I love the combination. Everything going on there. Let's try the other one. We had 2 card fronts. And maybe we'll use this now, this stencil here, and we'll put some black paint through it. I just feel like it kind of looks like maybe kind of like graffiti or something. I have a card that I need to have ready for a birthday, a friend's daughter, Lily. Her birthday is this week, and I got her some fun things, so I thought, well, I better make her a card, right? So that kind of looks cool. She's going to be 14. I need a little bit more paint. No use skimping on it now. You've got so much invested in here now. Oh. So I think that looks cool. And what else did we have? Maybe this little thing here. Now just remembering that my paint is wet so I don't create mud. Yeah, I like a lot. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to, I have these 2 card fronts, and then I have a whole page that I need to cut up. So I'm going to work on all of my pages, and I have a lot of them, remember? So I'm going to do that off camera, and then I will bring them back to you and show you what I got. And then we'll put some cards together and we'll be all set with this project. See, it got me creating. You got your jelly plate out, and I feel like I'm accomplishing something because I am actually getting some cards done. So how fun, right? Okay, and we'll also bring out our white and black pens, you know, like our white gel pen and our black paint pens, and we'll put some different marks on there too, so that'll be really super fun. Okay, I'll be back and we will have to wrap this up, all right? Oh, I'm back, and I cannot believe how much of a craziness this project has gotten. I have stuff everywhere in my craft room. You will not believe it. So today is day 2 because I had so many pieces of paper to cut up and make into backgrounds that I narrowed it down to this. And I'm actually going to finish today 3 on Saturday because I have something on this line and you'll want to see at the end. So here's what I have in front of me. Now, if you remember this piece, I put that big bubble wrap on. I like all of the things, but it's just too busy. So I decided I'm not going to use this piece of paper. of course, I'm not going to get rid of it. It's going in my scrap basket. But this one was just too busy. I couldn't see the dragonfly. It had too much going on here that I didn't really care for it. So I'm setting that aside. Okay, you might remember this one. We'll go here, that I was making for Lily for her birthday. So I put it on a card base, easy as can be, and then I put it on a piece of purple here to make this purple pop. And then I was thinking about putting these stickers on it, and I wasn't sure. I have 2 packs of these. They're kind of glittery and sparkly. Well, she's turning 14, so I thought, yeah, that might be a good idea. But I wasn't sure if it was going to look nice. So what I did is I cut this bottom piece off. I know it's a little hard to see here. Cut this little bottom piece off, and I'm just laying it on my card to see if I like it. And I actually do. So I'm going to put that down at the bottom. It's just a little sticker. And I'm going to carefully put that down. And sparkly, it says happy birthday. I'm going to divide it into 2 so it fits in that spot. You may not be able to see it on camera, but I can see it and I know she'll see it. So that's all that matters. So I'm going to put that birthday down here, and then it has numbers, and I thought I would put a 14 up in this bubble here, a 1 and a 4. And I thought that would be really cute. And again, I'm using something that has been in my stash forever. What I'm using here is called the pen blade, and it's a really nice tool. I think it comes 3 or 4 in a pack, and they're retractable like this. And I'll try and find them and link them if I can, but it comes in handy a lot. I use it a ton. I feel like I'm shaking. I'm trying to hurry. I know this video has gotten really long, and that's why I'm going to make it into another part here. So that card I'm calling good. So we'll set this aside. Okay, so we got one done. Whew, finally. Then here I'll show you what I did with these. So I cut my panels, and then I cut this out with die cut, and this is a stitched rectangle. I use these all the time, and this is garbage. I am going to throw that little scrap away. And maybe I'll get you a little bit closer here. Let's see if I can do that. Is that better? I think that's better. Okay, and I edged the sides of these with black, because if you know me and my mixed media, I really like that black edge, and I was trying several different techniques on how to do that, and I found out that a finger dauber and my archival ink is the easiest way to get that done and the least messy. So I did that for the cards here that I'm working on to show you. I just love how that makes those dragonflies pop. And this stamp that I used has lots of sayings and stuff on here. It says on dragonfly wings. It has lots of little words on there, so I don't feel that it needs a sentiment. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop that one on the white panel. So it really makes it look cool with the black and the white. So you know how to adhere that. That would be another one done. Now this one was a stamp I pulled out. I inked the edges, of course, and I just put it right on a card base. So that's pretty cool. And I could put a sentiment in here, maybe something, but again, there's a lot going on there. I don't think that it really needs that much anymore. I'd like it just like that, you know, an all occasion card. You can give that to someone for anything, birthday, graduation, you know, anything really. Thinking of you. So here's another one that I did, and I dug out a color that went with the color in the background here. I inked up the edges and I cut it a little bit smaller, as you can see, so that the color stands out. And I think that is a heck of an amazing card, don't you? Really cool. Okay, put that together. One more here was a butterfly stamp that I had, and I stamped it on my background, inked the edges, and then I trimmed it so that it was centered on the background instead of like this one. It's not centered. I've got the two strips of color on the sides. And then I was thinking, ooh, look at those black gems. That would look really cool on there to put them around. It may be too busy for that. I hadn't decided, so I didn't do it. But just another option, okay? So lots and lots of cards that I made already with those backgrounds that we did the Gelli Plate with. Now here's a bunch more, and the circles are still wet, but I added all of those circles on there, and I'll work on putting those on the backgrounds. Now, one thing I wanted to show you before we went on to the next step, if I can get it over here. I can't. But with all of these backgrounds, I have these already cut in just a big variety of colors. And at the end of the video, I will click a picture of how I store that. And that is a great, great tip, because instead of running and trying to pick out the color, I just leaf right through it and find the color that works with my card. And I think they turn out amazing when you have those colors to choose from. And you know you have a ton of colored paper, and isn't that much easier than digging, getting out your cutter, cutting the paper, oh I don't like that, getting another color, on and on and on. So that is a big time saver for me. And I will take a picture of that at the end and show you. Now, the reason I'm going to next week or Saturday to finish this is because last night I was watching The Bachelor. Yes, don't judge. I think it's quite funny. And I started digging out my die cut books and my sayings that I have. And I started, these are art by Marlene. I started putting those things on the cards, and I have a huge stack here. Just to give you a teaser, I just stuck this together so that it would stay. Look at this one. Here's a background that we did. I put this die cut on there. I put a palette knife on, and then the word color, and then a color wheel. Now, who would not want to get that card? Everyone would want to get it. So I'm not going to show you what I have here. I'm going to show you those on Saturday because this video would be way, way too long. So I hope that you are thinking about getting out your Gelli Plate. It's a great way to get out of a rut, you know, that we all may be in this time of year. We're done with our Christmas cards. We're done with definitely done with Christmas and all of that. So hopefully you'll get out your Gelli Plate and you will make up some of these really, really cool cards. And I will finish this video, or continue, we'll say continue with this video on Saturday then, and I'll show you what I did with all of those die cuts from Art by Marlene and using our Gelli Plate backgrounds. All right, thanks for sticking in there with me. I will get a picture of the cards and everything at the end, and have a super weekend. I'm going on a little crafting weekend down at the cottage. I have a couple girls coming, so we are definitely going to have some fun putting all of these things together for sure. So I will see you again on Saturday, and we will talk again at that time. Leave questions, comments, things that I may miss in my description, and I will get right to you. I read them all. Make sure that you subscribe if you like this style of crafting. I do mixed media, art journaling, and definitely love to make cards with all of those different aspects, and jelly plate printing. So that was really fun. I hope you have a great weekend and stay safe.